Hi, and welcome to Excellent Aerospace Marlander's final report. In this presentation, we will be going over these categories.
Hi, I'm Kanoa Tucker, and I'm the construction manager.
My name is Ethan Heath, and I'll be the verification and test manager.
And my name is Cricket Skipper, and I will be the project manager. This is the request for proposal given to us by NASA for the task that we must complete. Given that document, we were able to find the customer requirements, which basically sums up to we must deliver 2 astronauts, which will be eggs, and for our test demonstrations, to the surface of Mars. The lander must be reusable, and we must demonstrate all of this during test day. The contractor requirements, after asking questions to our contractor, we were able to find out that our vehicle must survive 2 20-foot drops, and it needs to protect the 2 pilot eggs from damage. The eggs need to be completely removed from our lander in under a minute and be able to get back in the lander in under a minute during our test phase. The lander needs to be reusable and should be constructed from accepted materials. We have 30 minutes to construct our lander, and the cost should not exceed $15.
So this is our final design drawings, top, front, and side view. As you can see, it's mostly made out of pool noodles and rubber bands and a Walmart plastic bag. And you can see the length of it, which is 10 inches, the width, which is 12, the width of the pool noodles, which is 3 inches. And in the side view, you can see the dark gray circle around the two center pool noodle segments, which represents the bubble wrap that'll go around this. So these are our materials and the cost for them. We had 2 pool noodles, which costed $10, 1 square foot sheet of bubble wrap, which costed $2, 4 plastic grocery bags, which is $1, and 40 rubber bands, which is $2, and that all came out to $15. So this is a picture of all of our materials, which shows the pool noodles, the Walmart grocery bags, the rubber bands, the bubble wrap, and the tape and the scissors which were provided on construction and launch day. So this is our construction plan. So first, we started out with one person cutting 10 10-inch segments of the pool noodle, and while that was happening, 2 people were working in pairs and attaching them at their ends with rubber bands, one after the other, to make a chain-like structure. And once this was done, 2 of the segments we would cut out a section in the middle, 4 by 2 inches, to act as a door for the eggs to be put in, and we would hollow them out if needed. And after that, we'd seal the door with 2 rubber bands on each side of the egg, for each segments. And this is a picture of the structure after it's all put together in the chain-like structure, but not sealed together. And these are the 2 pictures of where the eggs will be put with the doors off of them. So after that, we'll line the egg segments in a layer of bubble wrap, and we will wrap the remaining segments around it, the wrapped egg segments, and we'll seal the structure with rubber bands in 4 segments equal lengths apart. And we'll place the part of the handles of the plastic bag on the outer rubber bands of the structure to make it secure. So things that we didn't need in the actual construction were rubber bands to further seal the vehicle, and the chain structure should actually be sealed in a circular shape. Our team underestimated the difficulty of modifying the pool noodle, which was like the cutting and the hollowing, which is hard to do with the materials provided, which was just scissors. And we had a surplus of excess materials, which was 28 rubber bands and 3 grocery bags. So these are the front, side, and top pictures of our final design, which we had 2 pictures for the front and the top to show it with and without the bag, and you can clearly see how the rubber bands are put together to seal the structure.
Our lander vehicle test plan and results. So the test location was the second landing inside the building, and the height was around 20 feet. Our lander vehicle came in to be 10 inches long, 11.5 inches wide and 9 inches tall, but with the grocery bag as the parachute, it was 22 inches tall. And all of our record load times were all under a minute, and the vehicle for both drops sustained no damage. We can see that in the first video here. For this one, I kind of dropped it not as flat as I would have liked. And for this one, the you'll see in a second, but the parachute, even though it's like propped up, it still does not catch as much air due to how big the vehicle is, and it doesn't slow the velocity down enough. And then in the second drop, I again popped up the parachute to try and slow the velocity, but this time I made sure to drop it kind of like on the bottom where the 3 noodles would fall on the ground evenly. And even though well, I guess I'll let the video play first, actually. So in both of these videos, we see after the drop, the lander actually bounces off, but it maintains its shape due to the durability of it, which was our prime factor. And then we did an additional drop test, but this time it was from the 3rd story, and again I dropped it like where it hit the bottom of the lander, and I tried to prop the parachute for this drop as well. And with this drop, we really get to see how heavy our vehicle is. Compared to the other vehicles, they fell at a much slower rate than ours, and our parachute did not work or slow our velocity as much as much as we thought it would have, and really it was just like the weight that made it drop so quickly. But with that, as you can see with the right photo, our pilots did survive that drop, and we get to see in the 2 photos on the left what the pilots look like in the lander.
So in conclusion, for the design, the team did have some likes and dislikes. The likes involved that the eggs were very secure since they were placed in separate noodles in the middle of surrounding noodles. They were very secure since they had multiple layers, and the durability, which was the team's main concern, is very well executed as proven from our tested verification manager. The dislikes was that in the preliminary rounds, we did have a function to slow velocity, and this function was not met. There are multiple possible reasons for this, one of being the lander blocked the opening of the bag, letting it not take in air all the way. It also could have been that the handles were too stretched out, closing the opening and not allowing it to fill with air. And the final and more probable one is that the weight was just too much for the one grocery bag to handle, as we could see by the speed of the drop. During assembly, the team was able to construct the lander in under 30 minutes. As mentioned in the manufacturing plan, the distribution of tasks was handled very well, and each team member was able to help in that specific phase. And the team also took the ease of access to the pilots for being able to get them out and in of the vehicle on time into consideration with the vehicle construction by linking everything together in a chain link structure. The team would have benefited from having more and different kind of tools during the construction phase. Since there was only one set of scissors and a majority of the construction plan involved cutting and hollowing out, that made it to where only one team member could have really been doing the more time-consuming jobs at a time. During the test results, we were able to see that the lander passed the two 20-foot initial drops, and we also saw the additional third story drop with no damage. This really did prove our durability in our design. We also mentioned that the verification test manager did ensure that the lander was dropped using the correct orientation. And finally, our rework. So during our rework, what we thought about for the slowing velocity function, which I mentioned was not met, there are two different things that we can do for our design. Since our durability was proven to be very strong, we have the option to completely remove the bag entirely. If this was not something we wanted to do and we actually wanted to keep the slow velocity as a function, we as a team would need to make some kind of construction, have a bigger bag, have it be more durable, be able to catch more air, have the bag be bigger than our vehicle. That would take some more planning on a separate occasion, but that is an option if we like to keep the function in our initial plan. The other thing we would do in a rework and redesign is help change the construction a little bit. The only thing about the construction that needs changing is going to be the tools supplied. Like I just mentioned, having only one set of the main tool we needed really did slow us down, considering only one person could do a main task at a time. The scissors were also not very ideal for the task that we wanted them for. So for them to cut pool noodles, it was very difficult to get them to cut. So we had to kind of saw them. And for hollowing out, it was not ideal in that sense either. A tool such as a box cutter would have worked much more efficiently for both functions. So that is something that we could consider for a future rework of this design. And that is everything from Excellent Aerospace. We look forward to hearing from you.